Welcome, welcome, welcome to Shakti Dreams Awaken. And welcome to my channel. This channel will be about relationships, dreams, goals, numerology, and other things that will come up from time to time. But what we're going to start with today is relationships. This is Women's International Month. And I wanted to start by talking about relationships because that is the focus of every woman's, and every person on this planet that needs and has relationships, whether it's relationship for love, relationship for friendship, relationship with children. There's some sort of relationship you're having. But I will talk about today is relationships dealing with women and how to pick a mate. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And the reason why I would like to talk about that is because I've had 24 years of legal experience where I've seen so many people go through divorces and make mistakes that they could have avoided. And I just think that giving this information out will be helpful for someone out there. One of the things that I know that you should do is get to know the person that you want to be with, that you think you want to be with. Get to know that person, because sometimes we will go with our emotions. We're like, oh, well, I like this person looks nice, and they make me feel this way, or whatever the case may be. They talk good and they boost your ego. But at the same time, your questions that young ladies, especially thinking about a mate, should ask, or anybody for that matter, you need to ask whether or not this person you could be with, you could have children with if you're in childbearing age. If you can't see yourself having children with this person, then it really makes no sense to go down that path. If you do go down that path, then you must know that it's only for your fun, but it's not for a future. If you're looking for somebody for the future, then you have to do it a different way. So the things that we will talk about on this channel will be things, to deal with decisions that you make that you got to live by, long-term and short-term decisions, things that you should be looking for. You meet the people's friends, meet the people's parents if you can, if they're still alive. Get to know the person. Try your best to get to know the person. Now, there will be some times when people will be like, yo, and they'll pretend. They'll pretend and act like, well, something that they think you want them to be. But know this, you get to know the person. Because if you go into a relationship thinking you won't be able to change someone, forget it. It's not going to happen. You're not changing anybody. You cannot change anybody. And young ladies out there who see this, and I'm hoping that I reach some of the young girls who are looking for a mate, as well as women that probably have lost their way or not really had anybody to talk to about these situations. You need to know that you have to and should. You should get to know the person and follow your intuition. A lot of times you will have an inner knowing that something's not right, that something's off. But because you like the person, you look the other way. Don't do it. You need to make sure you understand that you should follow that inner voice. That's usually your spirit telling you that something's wrong, that you shouldn't go down that path. You need to understand that we get signs. You do. You get signs that something is wrong. And a lot of us ignore those signs because of, oh, I like this person, or, oh, I can change this person. No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. If you think you're going to change the person, that, oh, they're going to love me so much that they're going to change, or they like me so much that they're going to change. Really not happening. Stop dreaming, wake up. It's not worth the heartache. It's not worth the sweat and tears you're going to go through, the energy you're going to expound to think that you're going to change somebody, because it's not going to happen. But, these are things that we will be talking about on this channel, things that I think, we should talk about as women. Sometimes we'll also be talking about women and their children, relationship with their children. It's not just, a love relationship, friendships, how to be a true friend, and what to look for when you're trying to choose friends, because it gets harder, I think, as you get older to really connect with people. When you're younger, you're going to school, maybe you're in school, but then you go to college, you will find friends that sometimes will be your lifelong friends. And, you go through certain experiences together, so that bond is there. But as you get into the workplace, it's really sometimes hard to connect with people, because some people are so fake and phony nowadays that you're like, yo, is this the real, or they'll pretend to be your friend. And like Bob Marley said, you got to be careful, because your best friend can be your worst enemy. So you have to know who you share information with, who you really trust, who can be loyal, and all that takes time. It takes energy to really put the effort out to find out who is going to be there for you. But I will tell you this, you will know. Because if you ask your inner self, yo, is this person real? Is this person going to be a true friend? You'll get signs. You may even get dreams where you find out that, leave that person alone. Leave that person alone. So these are some of the topics we're going to be talking about. Things that could help you with your relationships at home, things that I've seen over the years. Like, for example, you have women, we women, we get with a man, you might have a child with that person, and things start not looking like it's not going to work out. And what do? You decide, I'm going to get a divorce, we're going to separate. If you're not still friends with that person, then it hurts the child. And women, we have to understand that when the family breaks up like that, it does hurt the child. And I'm not saying stay with the person because you're going to be unhappy if you do, just for the child's sake. But at the same time, you should try your best to go into a relationship where you're going to try, if it's to your benefit, you try to keep that relationship going. Now, sometimes it's not your fault. He steps out, you decide, ain't nobody disrespecting me like that, bye, and they got to go. But if it's not something that extreme, you usually would try to work that. People have arguments. People don't see eye to eye. One of the things I will tell you is finances seems to be one of the number one. And number two is cheating that breaks up families. When you're going through a financial downfall with one person may not be working over that, then all of a sudden the arguments occur. And you have to know that sometimes these things happen. One person might not work for a little while. They might get sick or something like that. And yes, you might be stressed out, but you got to try to make it work, because you took an oath. You took a vow. If you believe in those vows, you try your best. It's not always easy, but you try your best. But you can't let the greenback be the only reason why you're going to get rid of the person. If you really cared about that person and you really love that person, then you try your best to let the relationship work. Disrespect, don't take it. Hitting, don't take it. Abuse, forget about it. But if it's not those things, you should be able to try to work it out. I mean, that's my opinion. Some people agree with me, some people will not. Hey, that's just me. I will tell you that nowadays you don't find that many people being together for 25 years, 30 years, 40 years. It's a rarity to find that those relationships last that long. But the ones that do, they will tell you they almost broke up or they had issues, but they worked them out. It's not always easy, but it can be done. So I just wanted to introduce myself. And Shakti Dreams Awaken is the name of the channel. I am Shakti. We will be talking about a lot of things on this channel. You know, one of the things, I know I didn't give you much of my background. I just talked about the legal part, but I did attend, I grew up in Brooklyn, between Brooklyn and Queens. Went to Far Rockaway High School, went to Cornell University, went to St. John's Law, practiced law for a bit, now taking a break, doing this. And you know what? Spirit always have you do what they want you to do at the time that is needed. And I think now is the time for me to do this. And so I come to you to tell you all the experiences I had, give you examples of things to watch out for. Women, we have guys that walk away from children, walk away from you, they don't come back and they don't do what they're supposed to do. It's not easy, but you can live with it, you can work it out. But then you have men that want to help and want to be there for their children, and you have women on the other side so bitter that they won't allow that man to do so. These are the things we need to talk about, because the children are the bottom line. We need, as women, and this channel is going to focus on the fact that the word Shakti means it's a word of divine mother. It's a word about being powerful. It's a word, Shakti means that you are that cosmic force that helps women and children. And this is what this channel is going to be about. I'm not down in any men, because I tell you what, without the female, you got to have the balance. It's got to be both. My yacht is what we will be dealing with on this channel. The balance of the universe, the Hermetic laws. At times, I will talk about the Hermetic laws. If you don't know what they are, we will deal with them later. But to just make you understand that this whole universe, it deals with laws. And the laws of the universe, they remain the same. Law of attraction, law of polarity, law of vibration, law of gender, it remains the same. So you have to understand these laws, how they affect your life, how they affect your relationship, and everything stems from the mind. You have to get your mind right. And once you do that, you realize that everything falls into place. So I just want to introduce myself in this channel. Like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and other women, other men, because this channel will not just be about women. We will deal with men's issues, because women, a lot of times, what we do affect the men, and what the men does affect us. So both your mate need to understand this thing. But we are, for this month, trying to focus on the women, since this is Women's International Month. So I thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and leave your email information so we can build this community. We can build a dialogue and help the women and the children and the nation become stronger every day. Peace, love, and joy is what I wish for all of you. Good night.